Hello, hello. This should be fun, everyone. Let's have some fun here today. Let's have a good time. Let's see what's going on. What's going on, my niggas? What's going on?
But we spend so much time focused on, the sliver in someone else's eye, the immoral, the view and perception of immorality in others. But it is an inside game.
But Christianity is warranted if we don't have a splint in our eye.
What's that?
This will be like the 7th time on your panel I told you you're misusing that passage. If we don't have a splint in our eye, we can judge, especially to lend money, spread legs, ring up.
So when
every length of your beard.
Tom, please.
Yes, Massa, I'll be stopped.
Well, Tom, you're wanting to correct me and just present the case as though you're right and I'm wrong.
I'm saying after 7-ish times, I feel like I'm not being heard or understood.
Right, because you don't listen for feedback.
No, it's you. So like every length of beard you've had.
I don't need you to argue, right? What I'm hoping you'll do is listen. That's what I'm trying to get you to do, Tom. I want to give you feedback on what you said so we can discuss this instead of you constantly arguing, okay? So I'm going to bring you back so you can reply now. Please take a breath.
Thank you, Master. Thank you for bringing me back. Bringing me on back, bringing me the camera back. I was the nigger the whole time.
Say, please. Okay. So, Tom, the sliver. It's easy to imagine we don't have a flaw, but truly, Jesus invited.
No, that's not what he's saying.
Those who are without sin can cast the stones. You are not without sin.
Jack, how does one ever go to another and say, brother, you have wronged, or you have wronged me? It's the individual context. If I'm not cheating on my wife, I'm free to call my brother out on cheating on his wife. It's not one splint begets all splints. If I'm banging black tar heroin, yes, it's hypocritical of me to say, hey, Polly boy, stop.
What is wrong with Illumitardi? That guy just goes on and on like he's on meth or something.
I chose to interrupt that. Okay? Because I think Tommy is missing the point, and this is what will typically happen with people who are stuck in the ego mind, right? Because the ego is there to battle. It's there to fight. It's got to prove itself. But the truth, if he's not willing to accept the truth or to try and understand the truth of another, well, then that's a symptom of denial. So I encourage everyone to please look at yourself. Look at yourself to see your own similarities to the situations you see here on the panel, in your own life. I know the panel, it's different than real life, but relationships and communication, those are the same everywhere, okay? And while I haven't had a ton of success, I've had a lot of success in my ability to communicate. And what Tommy and I are having is trouble communicating. I'm trying to get to the heart, but the heart is a mystery, as is the mind. And here, we've got another shift in energy, and I bet this one's going to be more fun. Welcome back, the Powder Dusty.
Salute. Steven, Jack, you look looking in shape or something. Look at this beefcake up here.
Jack, I think, please don't hit on me, Powder Dusty. Jack, I just think that you and...
I'm just saying, have you been working out? Is that AI?
It's not AI, it's a photo of
Steven.
Me. I just answered.
How old is it? How
Jack,
much are you sucking in?
Here, let
It's
it go ahead, Steve.
you don't have to obsess over me like you
Right.
usually do. Can I get a word in here, Jack? I think that you and Tommy have religious, scriptural, irreconcilable differences. I don't think it's like a relationship difference. It's just I think Tommy has a different interpretation of the Bible than what Jack does, and I don't know if that's ever gonna change. It's like you two guys are like banging heads or banging horns together, and it's just I don't know if it's ever gonna change. Like he sees it one way, you see it another way.
Right. And
That's how I look at it.
right. And what you've been missing though is your part.
Steven, did you get smarter? Sorry.
You've been witnessing it. And I've presented the case that not just with Tommy, but many others, that I have been misunderstood. I have been falsely accused. Chuck.
So Flow State was being weird. I think he's falling in love with me or something. Ladies love El Diablo, including the Powder Dusty. He's not a lady, but he is kind of girly. He's kind of a girl. I think he might be gay.
Tommy, the list is long, right? People have witnessed this. I claim that Tommy is not following the principles of Jesus. I claim that Tommy is living in the ways of the world and with the consequences of living in the ways of the world. He's got these belief systems of religion. I mean, had he not been taught that, the purpose of life is to wait for the Antichrist and just survive until some mystical hero returns, had he not been taught that, he might be living a totally different life.
You're right. I agree, Jack, but I didn't know he was taught that. So I didn't have that information, that context about Tommy. But anyway, go ahead. What was my part in it, though?
The question is
that I played a part in this.
Thank you.
You're just looking really good, Steven.
Thank you.
I'm straight. See what I mean? He's chiming in saying I'm looking really good. He's coming across as gay. Now I don't know if this is an act or what he's doing, but this is weird. This kind of threw me off. No, he was taught that. So I didn't have that information, that context about Tommy. But anyway, go ahead. What was my part in it, though? The question is that I played a part in this.
Thank you.
You're just looking really good, Steven.
Thank you.
I'm straight, though. Flow State, so back off. No homo.
There seems to be an attraction there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Hey, I took.
Jack said there's an attraction. Ladies love El Diablo. Ladies love El Diablo. All of the ladies. All of them do.
This off. Or I lost the thought.
What was my part in this, Jack? You said that I played some part, and I was like, I don't get what you...
I want to invite you and others to consider. You are a witness. Okay? Now, what you do with what you witness, not just here, but anytime and anywhere in your life, what we do is up to us. Welcome back, 007. Good to see you too, brother.
What's up there? How are you doing?
Oh, hey, Richie.
Ninja.
Is that Richie?
You're on Mr. Flow State. How you doing?
Richie never has me on his show.
You never come on my show.
I've tried to get on your show.
You should have Steven on. He's really good looking.
In the last
couple months.
I've been going. Well, so I wasn't going live.
2-3 months, maybe. You were like, I don't know. This year,
I took a bit of a step back for a little while, but my friend Nia bought a month's worth of StreamYard for me, so I've been streaming every day almost for the last few days and having panels.
I'd buy you a cheese. So Jack doesn't look too happy there. There's skinny grifter Richie 007. That's the guy that Barbie got very upset when I was covering his channel a couple years ago. She got very, very upset. I think he might be a vegan or something, Richie. But he's always asking for money. He's been asking for money for years. He can't seem to dig himself out of the hole that he claims to be in. It's interesting. 3 demons and 1 angel. Cheeseburger.
welcome
You're
up, dude.
looking a bit thin.
Hey, Stephen, can you allow him to finish speaking, please?
I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Dude, I've been looking a bit thin for the last fucking 4 years. There's no change there. I don't think I'm looking any thinner than I was. How's everyone doing anyway?
Truly
No,
blessed.
I don't want to disrupt this
We're good.
conversation.
I'm doing pretty good. Steven's looking fantastic. Jack has found his calling.
We've,
I think so.
So
Thank you.
the question though that I would wonder is, you and Tom. Let's say you and Tom have your horns locked, and you're both dead ass set that you're right. What then is the next step in that paradigm?
Well,
Gay marriage.
no, there's infinite variables to every outcome, but the goal I would love to have is a reconciliation of ideas. I believe he is wrong. I'm quite confident
Right.
in my interpretations, and without his willingness
Right, but I guess I'm asking him if no one concedes. What if no one concedes? Is there a plan B,
yeah.
or is this?
Tommy continues his life on the streets, and Jack continues his path and starts hanging out with billionaires instead of fucking homeless people.
Jack, will you ever meet
That
Illumitomi
was
in
fantastic.
person and do a show together? Will you do a show in person with Illumitomi,
I would.
side by side? You
Yeah, I
would.
would.
You're open to that. Okay.
Sure.
I'm just curious. The audience needs to know these things. Everybody here
Can I-
needs to know.
I got some input.
Please.
I don't know if you're gonna like it, but I've got some input. You know, I had a bit of, I had my own sort of hang-ups with you. I was a bit triggered by you, but then I listened to you some more because I realized that my own triggers, me getting triggered is more of that's just going to hold me back. If I can actually listen to somebody without getting triggered, maybe I'll learn something more about that person or learn something more about myself, whatever. So I've been listening to you, and I agree with so much of what you say, Jack. It's a lot of the stuff that I'm saying myself. But the trouble is, I think we're all flawed, right? None of us have fucking got this together. So when somebody sits there and puts on the mantle of being the teacher, when they can't actually, no, I don't think you've got it together yet. I think this is a journey that we're all taking. This is a journey that we're all taking together.
Yes, it is.
So
Join me.
I just think it might help. It might help a bit because I know what you're saying, and I know where you're coming from. I think Tommy's biggest issue is probably the fact that he sees that you're not you're not a proper guru or a yogi, or you're not in the eyes of me, in the eyes of people like me, you're not ready to be teaching people yet.
Well,
Because you've still got.
tell you what. Right. And 007. This is why
I mean that with the most respect. I mean that with the greatest of respect and the nicest way. I'm not having a go at you or digging at you.
I realize that, and I want to recognize that's likely why I reacted to you, and why we both had our triggers, because I've been confronted with my worst, my lifelong pattern. I've tried pointing it out to others and asked, please help me overcome this pattern. People continue to underestimate me. I keep getting misunderstood and falsely represented in the minds of a lot of different people.
Misunderstandings. Help Jack break free from the patterns of himself. Help him change.
So if you take that idea into a greater picture, I actually think God is telling a story through me, for me to share with the rest of the world.
But you understand that when you speak like that,
Yes.
all we hear is ego.
Yes.
That's
But
all
that's
I'm.
your-
That is. I know maybe that's just me, but you know, it's a very like I am here to save the world,
Right.
kind of, and none of us are.
Well,
None of us are here to save the world, dude.
I'm
We're here to work it
openly
out together.
007. I am openly challenging and confronting that belief inside of you. Okay. Now, I'm not putting myself up on any pedestal, but what you're hearing, that's your ego perceiving it. But listen to your heart. Listen to your heart of hearts, which is open to infinite possibilities, because the heart knows that infinite possibilities can be. And if in the realm of infinite possibilities, we might be destined to bring peace to the world, I want to take a chance and do everything I can to help that to happen. And so if you can listen from your heart without the objections and the worries and concerns of being misled, we have incredible opportunities, and I'm inviting people to see yourself with me, with this idea that we can change the world, especially if we come together. And to swing back to confirm what you said, because you spoke the truth. I don't want to come across as though I know it all. But that's been a downfall for me because people say I won't answer questions. Well, no, I won't answer questions to things that I don't actually know. So, but when we join together, my friends, all of us, our opportunities grow exponentially. Every time you meet someone new, every time you learn something new, especially a new skill that has a value for you, everything changes. New opportunities are around every corner. That's what I've realized for myself. Because I had to change directions a lot of times.
Jack, I just want to jump in and say something. I don't think you meant it this way, but quite a few people in the chat room, and maybe even myself, wonder, do you really want to hang out with billionaires rather than homeless people? I mean, that kind of was just, that was like, you don't want to be a snobby billionaires,
Not
whatever.
to call
Jack will be.
Not to call anyone out, but I've sent emails before and I got a rejection response, but I reached out to Tony Robbins. I wanted to work with him. He's a billionaire. Well, he runs a multi-billion-dollar industry. But the thought I had when I attended his incredible event, when he's talking about how his purpose is to feed the homeless, my thought was, shit, get your fucking coaches out there to the missions. Start teaching these people what you know. Stop charging for it.
He said feed the homeless. Your first thought was shit.
Right. Do you really believe that that's his intention? He's running a multi-billion-dollar business. He's turned homelessness into a multi-billion-dollar business. Really?
Boom.
No, he has not turned homelessness into a multi-billion-dollar business. He has turned health and success into a multi-billion-dollar business.
I'm not sure who he is. I'm not sure who he is.
Tony Robbins.
Oh, I'm thinking Tony Robinson as in Baldrick from Blackadder.
No,
that's Tony Robinson. But
he's a well-known life coach. He gets, from what I've heard, he gets like $6 million a year per client, and he only works with a few clients a year. But he's been called by Bill Clinton when he was in trouble and others to help.
I'm interested why you'd want nothing to do with that, man.
Well, because he's a model of success. Now, would I do things?
So is Trump, dude.
Right, exactly. So would I do things different than them? Yes, but I can sure learn from those who are more successful than me. I learn from those less successful than me as well, because I've learned to pay attention. Wisdom comes often from those we don't want to hear shit from.
Jack, you got to listen more then. Listen to others.
That's a good point, Jack. But if you had a chance tomorrow to hang out with Tony Robbins or hang out with this broke-ass musician, Richie, who would you choose if you had a choice? You had one or the other. You can only choose one.
He'd hang out with a billionaire, dude. You know he would.
Well,
because it's about no, you would, Jack, and you'd be lying to say that you
no,
would.
I probably would.
You would?
I probably would, because I'm always thinking my purpose and the greater goal.
And I would I'd say if you got a choice between hanging out with Tony fucking Robbins and hanging out with me, I'd go where the opportunities might lie, and that's not going to be the opportunities with Tony Robbins are going to be much bigger than with me. Like, I don't think that people that are as successful as that, they don't have some secret. Their secret plan is who they know. That's all that is. That's who they know. It's the circles that they move in, and that maybe it's got something to do with their family bloodline or something. But
conspiracy theory.
It's what they're taught. The wealthy, the schools that Donald Trump went to, the churches he attended, I've heard enough. I've heard enough to understand what he's been taught. Think like a billionaire. That was actually one of my ideas of talking about today. Bless you, Powdered Dusty.
So let me tell you something that I've been doing in my own life, right? And I've noticed a difference between when I've done it and when I haven't done it. There has been a noticeable difference between when I've done it and when I haven't done it. When I go to bed, the last thing I do before I go to sleep, if I basically affirm what the next day is going to be like, I say, tomorrow is a good day. I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be a great gig. There's going to be great people. I'm going to get good tips, right? And then when I walk to work, as I'm walking down to work, I'll just repeat it in my head. And every time I've done that, I've had the best gig. I've had a really, there's not been loads of people there, but I've really enjoyed the gig, and I've got tips at the end of it, and it's gone well. When I haven't done it, the gig sucked the fucking life out of me because there haven't been any people there, and it's been like pulling teeth. But there's been a marked difference between the two, like
positive thinking.
Yeah, basically setting a positive template for the next day already, or for whatever it is you're going to do, just affirming a positive outcome or however you want it to be.
I like what Jack said there about think like a billionaire.
Yes,
that hits home. Instead of thinking like a poor idiot, you should think like a billionaire to be successful. You got to change the mindset, right, Jack?
Well, yes, and I mean the idea. Ideally, I encourage people to identify closest to the Christ mind, but you can learn from everyone. You find a good example, something that you want to reflect the qualities of, and success. But if you get into like the teachings from Neville Goddard and a lot of the current teachings of the mind and the power of mind, it all reinforces the same idea. Clarity of mind, that will lead you to greater comfort and greater performance.
It's all about coherence.
Yes, it's all energy and frequency. That is exactly what we are. So it's more important to pay attention to the energy of an experience and an energy of another person. Because that energy, if you can tune into your sensitive nature and sense what's behind the words, what's within the moment, it makes it a lot easier. But you got to be present in order to do that. And if you're thinking about the next move, or you're holding on to the past, resentments and battles, it's really easy to lose track. But back to that question of the billionaires. I did say that to be kind of a dick, but it's true.
It was a good line, though. It was actually good. I got to look into Neville Goddard more because there's a lot of videos on here that I notice on YouTube, and I just haven't had time to look into it. But it's interesting.
You should have just said successful people.
Well, how about this? What I would love to do is spend some time, just a brief moment, to experience, what it's like to be in wealth and real nice. Just to taste it. But then I want to take the owner of that wealth with me, and I can take him down to any street, and we can go meet some fucking human beings, and I can help him find the rewards of changing someone's life, just like that.
Would you let the billionaire take you to Amsterdam, to the red light district, or any of those places, or would you avoid those? Or
I've been there, done that.
Oh, I didn't.
What if the billionaire's heart stays hardened?
Well, that's an interesting question. I guess that would mean I'd failed. But that couldn't be the case, because if I'm hanging out with billionaires, I've already achieved their respect and invitation. And so once I get a foot in, man, this is the way.
Can I point something out?
Please.
It's just a logical observation. I just don't think, like, billionaires are generally quite arrogant. They're very focused.
You know me.
You don't need to. You don't need to, do you? They're not going to be that successful unless you're
right.
Focused.
He knows Richard Branson.
I think that if you're going to condemn a whole class of people that you've never met any of, you should probably consider whether or not you're just acting out of
You're probably right. The impression that I've got from the people that I've seen that are billionaires. But what I'm trying to say is that they're generally they're not going to take advice easily. And if a guy comes getting in touch with them and like, who are you? I'm Jack Talcott, and I've got a YouTube channel, and I'm trying to work out how you're going to get into the sphere where you're going to be actually listened to and looked to for advice, and maybe where somebody
can help you on.
Go ahead, Jack. Let me offer an answer. It's actually what I've been trying to get people to see. Be a part of it. Help me figure out how to make it happen. Because I think, to be worthy of what I hope. I mean, to answer your question, I've been pretty. Where'd it go? This is like the direction I want to go. Whoops, doggone it. I'm figuring this stuff out. Here, Donald Trump. Donald Trump could be the key to what I'm hoping to achieve, because he's certainly in the position.
That is the key. I just wanted to respond to Richie and say, I think Richie 007, you're thinking too much with your head and not with your heart to see how Jack is going to achieve this. Mm-hmm. It's not just through the mind. Yes. It's Jack doing this through the heart, through love, that he's going to achieve it.
It's whether I achieve it or not, I'd love for people to take me seriously and recognize how committed I am to this effort. Here, for you.
No offense, but you're using your head too much, Richie.
Well, that's wise. We do need to be wise, and I see 007. He's not being foolish. Right?
Man, I'd love for you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, dude. And I don't want to. I'm not going to say that you can't do it. That's because it's not. I think that we can put anything we set our mind to. Mm-hmm. We can achieve anything we set our mind.
It's possible. We can achieve anything. I just want to say I didn't mean any offense. I don't think that 007 is foolish at all.
No.
I think a lot of us, including myself, have used our head too much and not thought with our heart. I've used my intellect and not thought with my heart and my love, and I was misguided.
It's easy to do.
Yeah.
But
I personally as well, I'm a firm believer, I guess, that well, no, I know that not all thoughts are our own. So my intrusive thoughts and such, not all thoughts are our own. So yeah, not everybody knows themselves well enough to know that you know, every thought that's going through their head, if it is actually theirs, or if it's they've received it from somebody else, or it's a monkey, you know,
beamed into your mind, right?
And this is why the scripture advises, and why I've quoted the scripture trying to remind people it's our responsibility to interrogate the thoughts. Interrogate the thoughts for truth and love. Okay?
So I did it in a different way. In 2016, I started basically meditating and saying, right, I know that none of these, because I was having bad thoughts. I was having really like shitty thoughts that were putting me into spiraling me into depression, because they were memories and, you know, dreams and stuff that I had with my girl that was killed, and I knew it wasn't. I thought, this isn't me. This is not me punishing myself. So I banished every thought from my fucking head, every single thought from my head. For basically, it was for 2 weeks. I was having to get every thought out of my head, and then for the last week, it eased off. And then by the end of the third week, after a couple of days, it was like on the second day, I realized that my head had been completely clear for 2 days. I hadn't had any intrusive thoughts at all, and I was feeling really, really happy, really happy. But that's awesome. Basically that was policing my thoughts and chucking out absolutely every thought until I could trust that the thoughts were either mine or just not bad. You know, they weren't gonna put me into spiral me into a depression again or something.
Richie,
did you step away from that?
Did I what? Sorry.
Did you step away from that practice?
Policing my thoughts? Absolutely not. No. Policing my thoughts.
What you described resonated with my own experience. I had in my mind early in my path of self-development, before I started learning the power of mind and stuff, I was looking at the examples I'd seen of good people, trying to connect the dots between what I did know of religions and of Jesus. And I'd learned of meditation, I just never figured it out. And I never really actually had explanations, but by God's grace, I did figure it out. And it's exactly what 007 said. You intentionally clear your mind of thoughts. You don't battle the thoughts. You just don't attach. You let them go. And when you stop allowing the thoughts, it just settles in. And then you recognize the stillness of your being. And in the stillness of being, without thought, without agenda, without worry, without hurt, it's glorious to be. And that's where, I mean, the Buddhas were teaching, you know, to overcome the suffering of the world, you be true word, true thought, true deed, true action. That's the same message that Jesus is teaching. Be with love. Because when you're with love, you're authentic. When you're absent from love, you become a bitter character. And I've played bitter characters for a long time. They're not fun.
Yes. Do you mind if I jump in here, Jack? And just, I don't want to promote another channel, but Ian from We Are Awake TV goes into this a lot with emptying the mind of thoughts. He's been on this path for months now. He views the mind as the enemy, and to empty it not just of intrusive thoughts, but of all thoughts.
Sun Tzu. So know thy enemy. Sun Tzu was talking about the self. He wasn't talking about the enemy, the outside, the enemy outside. He was talking about the enemy within.
Yes. And if you know you are your enemy, you study you. You make sure you don't get tripped up by you.
Well, you understand what it is that is like enemy is quite a strong word, but
Yeah,
we are our own worst enemy
Yes.
because of physical pleasure, gratification, addictions, all that sort of stuff.
Lust.
And also thought, because of the false sense of self, right? The false sense of self that says I am this and I am that, and I am this. I shouldn't be spoken to like that. Or do you know who I am? You know, or thinking that it's
Good point.
I forget where I've taken off, so I don't know where I'm landing.
It's all right. It's
Ian was talking about how. Oh, go ahead, Jack. I didn't mean to interrupt.
that's actually what I wanted to swing back to, was that idea of the mind can be dangerous. If you don't control your mind, it will take you through hell. Okay?
Yeah.
And the mind is given to a child. So it's a powerful tool that we all get used to in our own way.
I've heard that NyQuil helps with those children minds.
Yeah, there's plenty of parents who do that.
To be fair, there's some childlike minds in the chat room right now as well, tuned in. So there are some that are very childlike here.
The thing is,
But Ian,
sorry.
I was just going to say that Ian doesn't just try to rid himself of intrusive thoughts. He said that a lot of his thoughts were tearing him down, negative self-talk and stuff like that. So to clear all thoughts,
right. That's different aspects of the ego. That's different facets of your ego where you the bits of yourself that compare yourself to other people, things like that. Because you should never compare yourself to other people. Sure. You should only ever compare yourself to yourself.
It's a fool's game to compare yourself to others. Go ahead, Matt.
I'd really like to finish the thought I was trying to get out. Okay.
Sorry.
About the tool of the mind. When we start becoming aware of what we're allowing in our mind, you can actually choose. You can choose which thoughts you're going to allow yourself to let go of. And you can choose which thoughts you'll spend time on. Now, Ian's path is different than mine, and I can recognize the value in just eliminating good and bad, but I'm pretty convinced that God has given us everything, and nothing prevents us from dreaming big. Nothing prevents us from using the power of our minds and imaginations to create, discover, and achieve the life of our dreams. Once I started realizing that we could do that there was nothing holding me back from taking chances, well, I started taking chances again. My chances and my efforts were misunderstood. I was wrongfully accused, misrepresented, but I haven't given up. I have not given up on my dreams. I've had time and opportunity to start thinking bigger.
Preach, Brother Jack.
Well, this is the thing. I'm not superior. I'm an average dude. And I think this is why God is doing this with us, because it is us, not me.
But I like what you said about it, think bigger, and people are kind of boxed in small. Now, if they can get bigger with their thinking and open the mind, or open the possibilities up rather than open the mind. I think that's what you're getting at, Jack.
Right. It's broadening our horizons. People are so we're so, people seem to be so limited as to what they can do. You know,
limited.
It's a pipe dream to become to be in the music industry or to become a film star. They see these only these particular avenues as the avenues to success,
right? When
actually any avenue could be it doesn't have to be in these specific fields. It's just the people that are in control of the money and printing the money and everything at the moment. It does seem to. It feels like they have a club, And there are a certain number of members in there, and they're not really that keen to let any new members in. In fact, they're just trying to, at the moment, wrap it up so they can win the game.
Right.
So,
Well, this is where I feel I've been given an advantage. I've been studying those who study success, right? And so back to the idea, we've got a guest, and I'll bring him up in just a moment. Back to the idea of think like a billionaire. If you can feel in yourself, right, the feeling of what it might be to already be a success, to have the lack of worry, right, or the absence of worry, the knowing that anything you want is available to you. Now, in practicality, we're limited by our connections and our resources, but that swings back to what 007 was saying. Think like a billionaire. Connections, relationships, those are the key to success. Successful people know how to work with people they don't like. Poor people don't.
Yes. Yes. Fuck the poor, the peasants. Jack, if you had a chance tomorrow to meet with...
Hold on.
I'm sorry, I took it too far.
I took it too far. I listened to my words again. Sorry.
Jack,
Some of the boys are still good looking, though.
I have a question, Jack, though. If you had a chance to meet Peasant Ian from We Are Awake TV or Elon Musk, Ian could teach you a few things. Everyone has something to offer. Ian is very good at clearing the mind and having no thoughts and things like that. Would you meet with Ian or would you choose Elon Musk?
Do you think that's what happened to Snafu's brain? Sorry, go ahead.
Jack's debating.
I don't. If world peace is not achieved, it's a no-brainer. I want to speak to Musk because he can help me speak to Trump, and Trump can help me speak to Netanyahu and Putin and everybody else. It's time for this nonsense to end.
Jack,
yeah. I don't think
Jack, quick question. Have you thought about giving war a chance?
I've brought it up to him before. I know I have.
Give him what, a chance? Oh, war.
Give war
a chance. Give war a chance.
I think he's thinking about it right now.
I'm actually self-censoring right now, and I'm settling some of the rage because the first thing that comes up is my wounded friends. So fuck you. Yes, I've considered war.
The thing is, right, this is not a war between the people. This is a war between the fucking billionaires and those people that are seeking to control and gain more control. So it's not our war, man. And it pisses me off that they do everything in the name of America, in the name of Israel,
right,
in the name of Iran.
Killing in the name of.
The name of. It's only in the name of. It's the fucking people. No, the people. The average Joe doesn't give a shit about what's going on over there. They just want to get on with their day, wherever it is that they're living in their culture, and they want to be able to live and enjoy their own culture.
My thing is this: when I say give war a chance, I don't mean like obviously, right? I've had family members, I have friends that have lost limbs. They're mangled from war, right? Okay. I would say as a society, they should be celebrated for the sacrifice they've made because they did make a sacrifice. Even if they are, put it like this, right? Even if, yes, we know, right? The intelligent ones know that they are fighting a war for mega corporations, right? But for what they signed up for the idea of what they signed up for, they should be celebrated for that because they were willing to sacrifice their lives for even the idea that they were fighting for a good cause. Okay.
No disagreement, but this, back to what 007 was saying as well in this comment, billionaires invest in war. We all know this. Help me find a way. Let's confront the billionaire class, which includes the sitting president and many of his designees. Donald Trump is.
I'll make an observation.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Jack is getting angry. All we are saying is give war a chance. All we are saying is give war a chance.
Sorry, go ahead, finish your thought. I can wait.
I'm pointing out the obvious. putting Donald Trump in the White House with the maneuvering, the tactical maneuvering he's playing. He's playing out the Heritage Foundation's plan. He's playing out the billionaires' plan. He's a good puppet. But putting Donald Trump in that position in the White House is putting the fox in the hen house. Everybody can see he recruited all the tech boys, right? The billionaires are in there. Why? Because of illusions of what?
Grandeur.
Yep.
It's I don't know, ironic that it seems like there's a lot of people on panel who are aspiring to more wealth, more affluence, which I think is a good goal that everybody should have, right? To be expansive.
Yes.
While simultaneously condemning and having animosity for those who have those things.
I mean,
and I'm talking mostly about Jack and Richie, to be honest. But
I'm clearly coming across wrong because I actually have compassion. Okay, I can imagine the stress that Donald Trump may be carrying. You know, I'm
talking more about the attitude towards the idea of wealth and success, not towards the individual person. That seems like a counterproductive idea towards your own goals.
Yeah, and you're misrepresenting me again. I'm
not misrepresenting you. I'm telling you my perspective. I may be wrong. Help me understand if I am.
I actually, but Flo, I think I agree with you because I think that's one of the things that might be holding me back from money flowing to me in abundance.
Yep.
Because I've got to tick all the boxes to be able to actually have money flowing to me in abundance, and yet I'm in the situation I'm in. So it might just be because of my attitude towards rich people, and I should absolutely adjust it. I guess I don't know enough rich people.
I just think that wealth is having prosperity is a good thing for everybody, right? So if you see somebody achieving a good thing for themselves and you have no reason to condemn them or think ill of them, why would you not look at their success and then be motivated by it and cheer them on as well?
I guess because I don't trust how they got to where they are. I mean, people like Elon Musk and that. I don't believe for 1 second that Elon Musk is the richest man on earth. He's the richest man on paper that's been published, who releases his net worth every year, but the likes of Finkel or whatever his name is, and generally people with Finkelstein as their name or Goldsmith or something, they don't publish their net worth, and you can guarantee it's probably 2 or 3 times bigger than Elon Musk's. He's just
I'd love to be the wealthiest. I got to admit, I really would.
My whole thing is when we're talking about war, right? I mean,
can I please answer Flo's question, please?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I heard you say is that you view me as condemning and criticizing those who have prosperity and wealth already, and getting control of the U.S. government. See, the systems are created to protect those who control the systems. People have been pretending that the people in positions have more power than we do.
Which means making the shadow part of your daily life. So I know you said, it's true. Where attention goes, energy flows.
Right.
But if you focus too much on one thing and neglect the other thing will end up growing.
Fading away. It fades away. Yeah, the darkness fades away.
No, dude, listen. I'm sorry.
Hey, 007, I've been patient. Please.
If you think it fades away, mate, you're deluded.
You are fine. Believe what you want. Can I speak, please, on my panel again?
This is why you're not ready to teach people, mate. Do you see that? Do you understand?
Yep, that's what you want to prove. So there's been a comment here that I've been wanting.
Oh my goodness. He called Jack deluded and said he's not ready to teach people. That's amazing. Wow. Things really heated up on the Talcott show right there with 007 Richie calling Jack deluded. How dare he?
Wanting to address for a while, but I've been wanting to be patient.
You did address it though. super chat just came through slower than, so it hit late.
To teach people, mate. Do you see that? Do you?
You are fine. Believe what you want. Now, can I speak, please, on my panel again?
This is why you're not ready to teach people, mate. Do you see that? Do you understand?
Yep, that's what you want to prove. So there's been a comment here that I've been wanting to address for a while, but I've been wanting to be patient.
You did address it though. The super chat just came through slower than, so it hit late.
All right.
Appreciate you though.
Well, and here, 007, I want to bring you back because I like your company, but you're doing the same thing that many others have wanted to do, is give me your doubts, okay? And your doubts are for you, to overcome for you. Now, if you want to understand why I say the things that I do, I'm happy to explain, but everyone's objections and bouncing ideas, guys, what are we doing? Seriously.
Jack.
This is our life.
It's my life. Don't you forget. Yeah. This is life, guys.
But everyone's objections and bouncing ideas, guys, what are we doing? Seriously. This is our life. We only get to live today. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We don't know when we're done, so let's get as much done. Bosses and people are obedient. Why are people obedient to someone else's desires, someone else's dream? Why are people obedient just for a small paycheck? Because that's what they've been taught. But if we create a better world where truth is right, where we have a world where truth is what matters more than budgets or authority, right? Where we use with punishment, and punishment has been used. The inefficiency that's built into the system, it's disgusting.
What are you talking about?
People get away with going to jobs paid for 8 hours, and they actually really produce maybe 2.5, 3 hours. I've had jobs like that, paid to sit around, fucking do nothing, try and look busy, but you got to have that job because might need it at some point. But so we've got to wait a lot of jobs.
It is the most efficient system we have, though.
So far.
My parents had some servants like that would just try to sit around. They wouldn't do the gardening. They wouldn't wash the cars. Like, they would just kind of be lazy.
Lazy daisy Negro.
But
they wouldn't make the cucumber sandwiches.
So
no, and they wouldn't do the diagonally all the time when I would ask. But
so they lack motivation and incentive. So a true leader will help an employee find the motivation and the incentive, or find the door. But we don't live in an honest world. People are afraid to be honest with each other, especially with the boss. Well, I can't tell the boss that.
I think as a child, though, I started to develop this view. You would probably consider it to be a stereotype that Negroes are lazy, because I grew up in a white neighborhood with privilege, or what would be called privilege, maybe even white privilege. And there's a chat.
Congratulations to you, Flo. $50 from Mike. Wants to bastardize me, so sure, let me read it. Mike, according to Mike 23, who is apparently some sort of authority on Jack and discipline, he says that my words were wrong. And according to Mike 23, nope, Jack, the true meaning of discipline is you give yourself a command and you follow it. That sounds like obedience, but sure, all right. It's not about what anyone tells you or what you've been taught in the military. You've been programmed, my friend. You probably think not, but you've been always. And Mike, thanks for contributing to the Powder Dusty. And thanks for your ignorance. I appreciate it. God bless you. Think what you want.
Thank you, Mike, for the continued support and for sharing the prosperity that we can share.
I'm going to wrap it up.
You are so bitter for no reason.
No, you're missing the point again.
No, I'm not.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for joining Powder Dusty and Stephen. You're close, but you're still not seeing the point either. So
I'm trying my best, Jack. I did say that you're a compassionate man.
Yes.
I am trying. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe my disappointment is just being shared, and maybe you're not the cause of it, because you did bring me back, and you brought us back to topic a couple of times, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing. Thanks for having me on. I've tried to be respectful and pay you some compliments. You are a man of compassion. You're for the oppressed and the underdog. Thanks for having me on the show, Jack, and I hope you have a wonderful, glorious.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for joining Powder Dusty again.
No, I'm not.
I appreciate it. God bless you. Think what you
Thank
want.
you, Mike, for the continued support and for sharing the prosperity that we can share.
I'm going to wrap it up.
You are so bitter for no reason.
No, you're missing the point again.
No, I'm not.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for joining Powder Dusty and Stephen. You're close, but you're still not seeing the point either. So
I'm trying my best, Jack. I did say that you're a compassionate man.
Yes.
I am trying. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe my disappointment is just being shared, and maybe you're not the cause of it, because you did bring me back, and you brought us back to topic a couple of times, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing. Thanks for having me on. I've tried to be respectful and pay you some compliments. You are a man of compassion. You're for the oppressed and the underdog. Thanks for having me on the show, Jack, and I hope you have a wonderful, glorious day today, and praise be to God.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you. I appreciate all who joined, and I appreciate all the feedback. Red 40, you can call it what you want. It's not hate. It's disappointment. If you can't sense what someone is actually really feeling, you might want to not jump to conclusions or make assumptions, because my disappointment is real. I'm sitting here each day talking about God and faith, self-development, ending wars, bringing peace to the world, trying to make a better world for everyone. And what do I get in return? Red 40, what was that comment? My hate is all over the place, right? I encourage you, why don't you look for the times where I'm surrounded by people who actually want to hear what I say? Why don't you look at the times where I'm actually supported in what I'm actually trying to do, not just being used for a place to hang out and talk and, imagine doubts and not really accomplish anything. No offense. But brothers and sisters, I'm doing my best, and I am committed to you, whoever you are, if you've been, especially if you're subscribed and you're a part of this and you are a supporter of me. I care about you because I care about me, right? And I know there's many who do care about me. I look forward to spending more time with people who actually care instead of just pretend to care. But hey, this is the world we live in, and we all get to believe what we want. We started out earlier in the stream with our friend Illumitami and some of the opposition regarding religion. I still claim that love is the true teaching from Christ Jesus, and the way to follow Jesus is to walk with love. So I hope you can see. I hope you have eyes to see and ears to hear, because today is your reality, as it is my reality. The reality is real. So what are you going to do? How do you want to feel? You get to choose